Hello children, welcome to my channel. Today's topic is circles, chapter number 17 of Home Science Mathematics, Selena Publishers book. Okay, class 9. This is a very interesting and very big chapter. Okay, so I will make around three parts for this chapter. First, we will understand what a circle is. Okay. Suppose there is a fixed point O, there is a point A, okay, this is the point A, which is at a distance of, suppose 12 cm from the point O. Suppose this distance is 12 cm, okay. Suppose O is fixed and A can be moved, the point A can be moved. Suppose I move this point A in this plane, okay. I move this point A in such a way that its distance from O will not change. Means it will always be 12 cm from the point O. Then how can I move it? Okay. I can move this point A in this way. Okay. So as long as I move this point A in this way, okay, it will remain, means the distance of point A from O will always remain 12 cm. Okay. So I get a figure, I get a plane figure. This plane figure is called a circle. Okay. This plane figure is called a circle. Now this boundary, okay, this boundary is called circumference. Ready? This fixed point O is called center, okay, and the distance of any point on the circumference from the center, let us take the point A. The distance of point A from the center O, which is 12 cm, this is called radius. This is called radius, okay. Now let us take 2 points P and Q randomly on the circumference. Suppose this is P and this is Q. Let us join them. This special line segment which joins 2 points on the circumference of the circle is called chord. C-H-O-R-D, chord. Okay. So remember, a chord is a line segment that joins 2 points on the circumference of a circle. Now let us draw a special chord that passes through the center. Okay. I am drawing a special chord that passes through the center. Suppose this is M, this is N. Actually, MN is also a chord, but it passes through the center O. This special chord which passes through the center is called diameter. Okay. So remember, diameter is a special chord that passes through the center. Clear? Or the chord that passes through the center is called diameter. So these are the basics of a circle. This boundary is called circumference. The fixed point is called center. The distance of any point on the circumference from the center is called radius. The line segment joining any 2 points on the circumference is called chord, and the special chord that passes through the center is called diameter. Okay. Now this is the plane, okay, this is plane, this is a circle, okay. Now this circle divides the plane into 2 parts, okay. This circle divides this plane into two parts. One is interior, the other is exterior. Okay. This part is called interior of the circle, and the remaining part, the part outside the circle, is called exterior of the circle. Okay. So there can be three types of points. First one is interior points. Suppose A, B. These points which are inside the circle are called interior points. Okay. I will take another point C, D, E. These 3 points are outside the circle. These are called exterior points. Okay. Then some special points are there. Suppose point P, which is on the circumference. Okay. Q on the circumference. R on the circumference. Such special points are called points on circumference or concentric points. Remember this term. The points which lie on the circumference of a circle are called concentric points or points on the circumference. Okay. Next we have equal or congruent circles. Now what do you mean by equal or congruent circles? The circles which have the same radius. Okay. Any two circles which have the same radius are said to be equal or congruent. For example, this is a circle, this is another circle. My diagram may not be accurate. Okay. Suppose its radius is 6 units and its radius is also 6 units. Then we can say that these two circles are equal or congruent. If we place one above the other, they will coincide. Okay. If I place this circle over this circle or this circle over this circle, then their boundaries will coincide. Okay. So such circles are called equal or congruent circles. Next we have concentric circles. Concentric means same center. Concentric means same center. Two or more circles having the same center are called concentric circles. Okay. Two or more circles which have the same center but different radii, okay, are said to be concentric. For example, this is a point O. Taking point O as the center, suppose I will draw a circle. Its radius is suppose 4 units. Again taking O as the center, I will draw another circle. Suppose its radius is 7. Okay. Again taking O as the center, I will draw another circle. Suppose its radius is 9. Okay. You can see we have 3 circles here. Okay. Radius of first circle is 4 units. Radius of second circle is 7 units. Radius of third circle is 9 units. But you can see they have one thing common, that is center. All these 3 circles have the same center. Therefore, we say that these circles are concentric circles. Okay. Next we have circumscribe circle or circle. Okay, remember the term circumscribed circle or simply circumcircle. Okay, what do you mean by that? It is a circle that passes through all the vertices of a given polygon. Remember this, a circle that passes through all the vertices of a polygon is called circumscribed circle or simply circumcircle. For example, okay, I draw a circle. Now polygon means it can be triangle, it can be quadrilateral, it can be pentagon, hexagon, heptagon, etc. Okay, we can draw any one. Okay, suppose I will draw a pentagon. Okay, ready? A, B, C, D and E. You can see in the diagram all the vertices of the pentagon ABCDE lie on the circumference of the circle, or in other words, the circle passes through all the vertices of the polygon. Such a circle is called circumscribed circle or simply circumcircle. Okay, so this is the circumcircle. Okay, then its center, let it be O. Its center is called circumcenter. Okay, its center is called circumcenter. Now this circle will also have a radius. Okay, suppose let us join OB. B is a point on the circumference. If we join OB, we will get the radius. Okay, this radius is called circumradius. Okay, circumcircle, circumcenter, circumradius. And the polygon which is inside the circle, it is called inscribed. Okay, it is inside. Okay, it is inside. Inscribed or cyclic polygon. Okay, so remember all these terms. The center is called circumcenter, the radius is called circumradius, the circle is called circumcircle or circumscribed circle, and the polygon is called inscribed or cyclic polygon because all its vertices lie on the circumference of the circle. Now we have a special thing in this circumcircle. Okay, that is the center. Okay, means the circumcenter is equidistant from all the vertices of the polygon. Means OA is equal to OB is equal to OC is equal to OD is equal to OE. Because the radius, each one is radius. OA, OB, OC, OD, OE. These are radii of the circle. They will be same. Okay. So we have a special thing in this circumcircle. We can write here. The circumcenter is equidistant, okay, from the vertices of the inscribed polygon. Okay, so remember all these points, these are very important. So this was about circle. Now we will move to incircle, okay, or inscribed circle. Inscribed circle or incircle. Okay, this will be opposite to the previous one. Circumcircle means circle will be outside and polygon will be inside, and incircle means polygon will be outside and circle will be inside. Okay, let us see. Okay, always draw a circle first. Okay, it's easier. First, if you draw the polygon, it will be very difficult to draw the circle. Okay, without using compass. We are not using compass here. Okay, without using compass, if you try to draw incircle and circumcircle, and first if you draw the polygon, then it will be very difficult. So always draw the circle first. Okay. First I draw the circle. Now I will draw a polygon which will be touching the circumference of the circle. Okay. I forgot to give the definition. It is a circle that touches all the sides of a given polygon. Okay. So first let us draw a circle. Now we will draw a polygon which will be touching the circumference of the circle. This time I am drawing a quadrilateral. Okay, last time I had drawn pentagon. Okay, you can see in the diagram, the circle is touching all the sides of this quadrilateral. Sorry, not square. The circle is touching all the sides of the quadrilateral or polygon. Such a circle is called inscribed circle or incircle. The polygon is outside, the circle is inside. Okay. So this circle is called incircle. Ready? It will also have a center which is named as I. Remember this. Circumcenter is usually named by the letter O, and incenter, the center of the incircle. Incenter means the center of the incircle. Okay. It is usually named using the capital letter I. Remember the difference. Okay. So this is the center of the circle I, which is called incenter. Okay. Now this circle will also have a radius. Its radius is called inradius. Okay. So let us draw a radius. You can see the circle is touching the side AB of the polygon at point, suppose P. Let this point be P. If we join IP, then we will get a radius. This radius is called inradius. Okay, this radius is called inradius. So in circle, Center is called incenter, radius is called inradius. And the polygon is called, in the previous case the polygon was inside, so we said it is inscribed polygon or cyclic polygon. Now the polygon is outside, so it will be called circumscribed. Okay, outside then circumscribed. Circumscribed polygon. Okay, so remember all these terms. Now we have a special concept in this in circle, that the incenter is equidistant from all the sides of the polygon. Okay, that means the circle is touching AB at P. Suppose BC at Q, this is Q. Suppose CD at R and AD at S. If we join IQ, we will get one more radius which is in radius. If we join IR, we will get another radius, same in radius. If we join IS, we will get another radius which is in radius. So all these will be same. Okay, so we can say the incenter is equidistant from all the sides of the polygon. Okay, so we can write it. The incenter is equidistant from all the sides of the circumscribed polygon. This is R. Okay, my R looks like N. Circumscribed polygon. Remember all these points. Okay, circumcircle, incircle, concentric circles, equal or congruent circles, chord diameter, etc. Interior point, exterior point, concyclic points. Next we have the concept of arc. Okay, ARC, arc. What is an arc? It is a part of the circumference of a circle. Okay, an arc is a part of the circumference of the circle. So let us draw a circle now. Then we will find out what an arc is. This is circle. Okay, let us take any 2 points on the circumference. Here the center is not important. Okay, here center is not important, so I am not taking the center. I have taken 2 points A and B randomly on the circumference. Now you can see this part, this curved part. Okay, this is a part of the circumference. So this is an arc. Again, this part. Okay, this is also part of the circumference. So this is also an arc. If you compare these two arcs, this arc and this arc, this is smaller, this is bigger. So this is called minor arc AB. Okay, the smaller arc is called minor arc AB, and this bigger arc is called measure arc AB. Okay. Instead of writing arc AB, you can write AB like this. Okay. AB and a curve at the top. Okay. So instead of writing arc AB, you can write like this. So there are two types of arc: minor arc and major arc. Clear? The measure of an arc is length of an arc. Okay, this cannot be measured in scale, so you have to use some formula to find it. Measure of an arc is equal to theta by 360 degree into 2 pi r. This is the formula, it is not given in your book. Okay, so measure of an arc is equal to theta by 360 degree into 2 pi r. You know what is 2 pi r? It is the circumference of a circle. And what is this theta? It is the angle subtended by the arc at the center. Now let us take the center O. Let us take the center O. Now let us join OA and OB. Okay. Now here will be some angle formed. This angle is called theta. Okay. So theta is the angle subtended at the center by an arc. Okay. So that theta we will use. So length of this arc AB is equal to this theta. Okay. This theta by 360 degree into 2 pi r, which is the formula for circumference. Okay. Next we have sector. Sector. Now what is the sector? It is the region bounded by, it is the region bounded by two radii. Okay, two radii and then arc. Okay, so remember the definition. It is the region bounded by two radii and an arc. Let us draw a diagram. Suppose this is circle. O is the center. Let us take 2 points randomly on the circumference, A and B. Join OA, join OB. Okay. After joining OA and OB means two radii. These two radii are dividing the circle into two parts. This is one part and this is another part. Okay. This is one part. This one. This centered region is one part and the unsettled region is another part. These two parts are the sectors of this circle. Okay. The region bounded by two radii, as you can see, OA, OB, and an arc AB. If you see the minor arc, you will get this sector. If you see the major arc, you will get this sector. This is also a sector, the unsettled portion. Okay. This is the bigger sector. So we say major sector. Okay. This is a smaller sector. So we say minor sector. Okay. So as there are two types of arc, minor and major, similarly we have two types of sector, minor and major. Now this is a region, means it will have some area. Okay, it will have some area. So how to find this area? Area of sector AOB. Okay, AOB is a sector. Okay, minor sector is equal to, again, theta by 360 degree into pi r square. Pi r square is the area of the circle. You know this formula from lower class. Okay. What is theta? Theta is the angle subtended at the center by the arc of that sector. Okay. A sector is formed of two radii and an arc. Okay. So the angle subtended by the arc at the center is called theta. This is theta. Okay. So we have to use this theta. If this is 60 degree, then 60 by 360. If this is 80 degree, then it will be 80 by 360. Clear? The last one we have segment. Okay, the last one is segment. It is also a region. Okay, it is a region bounded by a chord. Remember, chord M N R. Okay, the region bounded by a chord and an arc is called segment. Let us draw and understand. Suppose this is circle. Let us draw a chord A B. You can see AB is a chord, and this AB is an arc. It is the minor arc. The region bounded by the chord AB and the minor arc AB is the segment, minor segment. And this is also a segment. Okay, you can see that chord AB is dividing the circle into two parts. This part and this part. I am studying this portion. This shaded region is a segment. The unshaded region is also a segment. This is the minor segment and this is the major segment, because this is smaller, this is bigger. Okay, so this is major segment and this is minor segment. Okay, so it will also have an area. Its formula is area of a segment is equal to minus half into r into 1. This you cannot understand now. Okay, what is this sin theta? You have not studied trigonometry till now. Still, I am giving the formula. Area of segment. This segment is equal to theta by 360 degree into pi r square minus half into r square sin theta. Okay. Let the center be O. Let the center be O. Join OA and join OB. This angle is theta. Okay, this angle is called theta. So this is the formula. I hope you have understood this part. Okay, the basic concepts of the circle: circumference, diameter, radius, chord, center. Okay, concentric circles, then equal or congruent circles, then circumcircle or circumscribed circle, then inscribed circle, incircle, then segment, sector, arc, etc. That formula. Okay, so I hope you have understood. Thank you.